This is the Padua Podcast Network.
Jamoke, which was a smashing together. It's a technical term. I'm an English major. Don't try this at home. Running Fever, episode 218, coffee. Welcome to Running Fever. My name's Michael Davis. This is a podcast about fitness, diet, and medicine. What we want to do is live a long, healthy, happy, active life right up to the very end. That's what I'm trying to do, and I hope that's what you'll do as well. Just past the spillway here at the lake. Pretty active. Haven't had a lot of rain lately. We did have some yesterday, though. And last night, I remember, because in the summertime here, it stays light until like 9 o'clock at night. So I was, getting ready for bed. I noticed that a really strange light outside. I went out and the sky was lit up in all these beautiful colors, but half of it was still, dark gray clouds, and the result is this weird glow because the sun's low, and it's just amazing. Got a thing you really can't capture, I don't think. Certain types of light you just can't reproduce. So today is Friday of a 3-day holiday weekend here in the United States, commonly referred to as 4th of July weekend. And the reason it's a holiday is not just a random thing. It's based on the date of the Declaration of Independence, which was a document signed by a bunch of people representing different states in 1776, and sent to the king who was ruling this area back then. Not this area, but East Coast. And there you go. So even on the Declaration of Independence, it says United States of America. And we still use that. Anyway, that's what's going on. Still COVID. I got my kitty cat mask in my pocket. I've seen 3 people today, and I got here before 6 a.m. Not too bad, I can still rock in America as I walk over some rocks. I can still do the podcast without too much trouble. Well, I love my coffee. I don't think about it much, though. I usually don't pay any attention to it. It's a comforting morning ritual that I have. But the other day, I noticed how flavorful my coffee was, and it turns out it was Rwandan. And I can tell you that the Rwandans make a mighty mean bean. That is for sure. I get the whole beans, and I have a coffee maker with a built-in grinder. And so all I have to do is fill it up with water, filter, beans, and then I have one button to push, and everything else is done. Good morning. it occurred to me that this episode is actually a spin-off of the Bean Show, because coffee beans are obviously beans. Episode 124 came out last year. I highly recommend it. Beans are amazing. So, the coffee bean, good Lord, somebody's trying to kill me here. The coffee bean originated in Ethiopia, as far as we know. It was found there by Yemenis, who are people from Yemen, who first cultivated it. And of course, now it's cultivated in Ethiopia. So you can buy coffee from its origin right in your grocery store. I'll have to do a taste test on Ethiopian coffee and see if it's as good as the Rwandan stuff, but it's there, and pretty sure I've had it before. Good morning. So I always wondered why, this is, all my questions about coffee are coming out now. I always wondered why I never saw decaffeinated beans in the store. You can buy decaf, but there are no beans, it's all ground. I mean, it's hard enough to find regular coffee beans sometimes. Depends on the store you go to, but usually I can find that. But I've never seen whole bean decaf coffee. But turns out decaf beans do exist. In fact, the process of decaffeinating coffee involves soaking the beans either with hot water or steam, and then adding solvents that sort of dissolve the caffeine. And then they take it off and they sell it to drug companies, and you can buy it on the shelf in your drugstore. So another little anecdote here. I once bought a bag of the world's most expensive coffee. It's hard to say exactly how expensive it was, but I remember it was less than a pound of coffee. Maybe enough for a pot of coffee or two. And it's called Kopi Luwak. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation, but it's mostly produced in Indonesia, and the process of producing it is very interesting. Won't go into it, but it's unique. I think I paid over $200 for that less than a pound of coffee. But I was making stupid money back then. And, obviously, spending it stupidly. I don't remember what it tastes like. I probably thought it was pretty good just because I paid a lot more, but I don't know. The same way that I think honey tastes good because it's good for me. Psychology of all that. Anyway, this is a diet department episode, so let's get to the health aspects of coffee. You may have heard that coffee is bad for you. And this is kind of a trope, or a meme, or that's my guest on the show. Or a fallacy, maybe. I don't know what you call it, but according to a Mayo Clinic article, early studies didn't account for the fact that heavy coffee drinkers were also often smokers and lived very sedentary lives. So that may account for the misconception. But the pros of coffee include, anyway, more modern studies have found benefits, and the pros include possible protection from Parkinson's disease, type 2 diabetes, liver disease, including liver cancer, heart attack, and stroke. So good things. Longevity, we talked about longevity because coffee does turn up in the diets of blue zone residents, those places where more people live to be 100 than other places. Cons, well, caffeine can cause problems. High caffeine levels can temporarily raise blood pressure, and as a long-time hypertensiac or hypertensioid, I don't know, someone who has high blood pressure, I can attest to this from personal experience. Women who are pregnant, trying to become pregnant, or breastfeeding should be careful about caffeine intake. And if you happen to be an Old West cowboy and you consume mass quantities of boiled, unfiltered coffee, like those cowboys do, you might have a mild increase in cholesterol. Probably not something most of us have to worry about, but there you go. Also, of course, caffeine is addictive and quick withdrawal can cause headaches. The bottom line, coffee's good, but as always, use in moderation. And I'm off to get a cup of joe. By the way, that term may have been a shortening of jamoke, which was a smashing together. It's a technical term. I'm an English major. Don't try this at home. Of smashing together of the words Java and mocha. There are several other theories, but you can see the show notes for more details. So, if you got the fever, keep it. If you don't, catch it. I'll talk to you next time on Running a Fever.